Welcome back to Browns Live, where we are joined by Perrion Winfrey, who is claiming that it is not hot out here in Berea.
Cool temperatures.
you look obviously like no sweat, nothing.
Just a little water.
Just a little
Well,
bit.
clearly Joel Bitonio was doing nothing to you today. No challenge.
Joel was working. I definitely say he gives me the best challenge, most definitely. I have high respect for Joel, and he's very talented, and he's going to get me to where I need to be for the season.
I don't know that he says that you're so easy to go up against, though.
I told you, he's
telling
unpredictable.
anything.
He's a wild card.
I appreciate him for saying that.
All right, before we get into the important stuff, though, you came here with a nickname, Norman Nightmare.
No, I never knew that.
Well, somebody told me that. It's in my notes. I'll show it to you.
I like it.
And so I thought we were going to have to make you up a brand new nickname. But
Yeah,
you're
we
telling me
definitely-
nobody ever called you? Nickname was the Norman Nightmare. Is that made up? Is that fake news?
It's made up, but that's hard.
You like it, though? It should have been.
We definitely got to come up with something
Well,
new,
we
though.
need something better.
Yeah, for real.
All right, you got anything in mind?
I've been trying to think of nicknames for years.
Okay,
I feel
so-
like it's just going to come to me.
Well,
Or
if
maybe
I
it'll
come
come
up
to
with
you.
it, yeah, then can I
It
get
got
a
to be
piece of
hard,
the
though, because I'm
patent?
going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you if it's hard.
Well, that's how it works,
Say no
right?
more.
All right, so your first camp, you're now 3 weeks in.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like it. That's the crazy part. I forgot today was Saturday, to be
Really?
honest with you, yeah.
Doesn't feel like it because it's flying? Doesn't feel like it because it's so easy?
Nah, it's definitely not easy. It just doesn't feel like it because the days are going by like that. It's like as soon as we go to sleep, I like blink and then I'm up for the next day. Like it feels like we're not getting no rest for real, but I like it.
Well, what's the sort of most difficult part of the transition from college to the NFL?
I say the most difficult part is probably like to just the not thinking part and starting to learn the plays fast so that you're not thinking and then you're just starting to play faster and react faster instead of thinking about what the play call is. But it's starting to click for sure.
When you come out here, get into the pads again, it's probably the first time, this is your third pad of practice.
Right.
First time you've been in pads in a long time.
Yeah, for real.
And you're a physical guy. You enjoy that part
Most
of the game.
definitely.
Was it fun to get those pads on? And this is
Man.
your first back-to-back
Right.
days of, like, really playing some football.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to get into the rhythm of finally having pads on again and finally being able to hit a guy instead of having to just walk through what you're gonna do. Like it's actually fun to finally get to feel like how their punches are, how their sets are, and things like that.
Because the last time you had pads on before this, right, you were the MVP of the Senior Bowl, if I'm
I
not
guess
mistaken,
I
right?
guess you could say that.
I guess you could say. That's, listen, who needs a nickname when you have the hardware?
Well,
Real
no, but
talk.
let me ask you that. Obviously, the interior of the defensive line here, there's some great opportunity for some guys to make noise.
Right.
How do you make noise when you're not actually getting the tackle to the ground?
Right.
What's the key?
I feel like just being disruptive in your own way. I mean, all of 11 of us have a job, so I feel like just doing your job to the best of your ability, and the plays will begin to find you if you're constantly doing your job and consistently doing what you need to do every play.
And where's the comfort level right now in understanding the playbook and being able to play fast and not think?
Right. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable. I feel like I know the playbook because we've gotten everything installed now, so now I know the playbook. So now I got to begin to learn what to do on those certain plays and, like, get the details down and what footwork to take and stuff like that. But I'll say I'm getting very comfortable.
At Oklahoma, you're playing a lot of 0 or
Right.
even 1 tech. Now you get to play a 3 tech, which you
Man.
did in the Senior Bowl,
Yeah.
and I know you are liking that.
Right.
How has that been different for you, and how much are you enjoying? Because it looked
Right.
like even today we saw some twists and some
Yeah.
stunts a little bit, getting
It
into
was
some fun stuff.
It's definitely fun, for surely. I just feel like I have to get back into the footwork of learning my steps and stuff like that because I've been playing nose for so long that I feel like I still do things that a nose would do. So it's just getting back into the rhythm of playing the position that I love.
When you talk about getting back into those steps, I'm sorry,
Right.
Nathan, the group is so young. So who's helping?
95 and 90, of course. Like, they don't take no days off of telling me what I did wrong or what I did right. And, of course, Coach Kiffin, they all hold me accountable and just telling me what I need to hear, knowing that it doesn't bother me.
So when Miles corrects you, do you just bark back at him?
I be barking in the meeting room, but for good reasons. I don't bark back at Miles because obviously one day I'm trying to be the type of player that he is in this league. So he knows what he's doing and he's doing something right. So everything that he tells me, I listen to. Because I haven't seen him be blocked once this whole training camp.
No, he can be a little disruptive. At times
Real
it's like,
talk.
all right, we're trying to run a practice
Right.
here. We're trying to run some plays.
Exactly.
Can you relax a second? They both like you, though, and I know
Right.
that you know that. I mean, the first day that Jadeveon Clowney was back here with the Browns, I interviewed him, and he brought you up in that interview. So
Right.
when you have two guys like that, they obviously see something in you.
Real
Does
talk.
that make you want to get after it even more?
Yeah.
Because they care. If they didn't
Right.
care, they'd say, okay, here's a rookie, whatever, do your
Right.
thing. We're great. We don't
Most
need to
definitely.
worry
yeah.
about it.
it makes me definitely go harder. Like after our walkthrough, I go in and get an hour of stretching. I'm recovering, doing everything that I need to be to make sure that I stay on the field because I'm trying to be dominant just like them. So I'm doing all the little things, watching film at home, constantly taking notes, constantly asking people around me, like Gerald McCoy, asking him every day, what could I do better on this? What can I do better on that? Just asking people around me, what can I do to just be consistently a better player?
You just mentioned Gerald McCoy.
Right.
Talk to us about that relationship, and what does that mean? You're talking to Gerald McCoy. What can I be doing better every day?
Real talk. I appreciate him the long way. 6-time Pro Bowler, one of the best D tackles in my opinion to ever do it. So being able to send him my practice film every day, and he's constantly coaching me on here's what you need to do on this or here's what you need to do on that, and then I come back to the practice field and the things that he's telling me are actually starting to work. It's a blessing to have him on my side.
But how did that even start? Tell everybody, what is the relationship? Why is he helping you?
I mean, we have a great relationship. OU
Okay.
mostly, but when I went to train at Exos, he was there with me as well, training, try to get back right, and we started talking there. And
just
then,
hit it off?
Yeah, and then he texted me a couple of days ago, like, how's camp? Told him some of the issues that I was having. He told me to send him the film. I sent him like 15 clips. He replied to all 15 clips, like different things to do on each one. And then after that, I came back on the practice field and those things started to click. And then the next day, he asked me how was practice. I was like, you're not lying. Like those things that you were telling me, they were right. He was like, I'm not a 6-time Pro Bowler for no reason. And then he just kept asking for clips. Like, so I guess he actually falls in love with like trying to help people younger than him.
It's awesome.
And is he seeing it? Is he telling you, yes, that is better, that is improvement?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but
Most
so
definitely.
every day you're sending him clips.
Every day. You can never get too good. I'm just trying to be a better person than I was yesterday.
So then tell us about Miles. Miles obviously is playing end, and his main goal is to rush the passer. The Browns need you to make sure to stop the run. Why is Miles so useful to you?
Because he's a great pass rusher and a great run stopper, in my opinion. I feel like he always is in the right position, always is using his hands the right way. He has great technique, and he's consistent in using his technique. So just being around a guy that is constantly using their technique and doing what they need to do and constantly being in the right positions all the time, I feel like it's a blessing to have him around. And then Jadeveon, like, he takes no days off and telling me what I did wrong, and like he feels like it bothers me.
Is he right?
Yeah,
as much as
he's right most of the time.
They see a lot of potential in you. You know what I mean? They see the potential,
right.
and that's an exciting thing. And
Real talk.
Miles also probably saying, "Listen, if you can get to the quarterback too, one less person that's worried about me on the way there." And you guys ran some games today. It looked like I feel like I saw a couple twists out there.
Yeah,
and you got to work together.
Funner. Right, exactly. Yeah. It's funner when you get to work with guys like that, and you just know that they're unguardable. So, you know, if you do what you need to do, that the stunt is going to work the way it needs to be.
All right, we know the back end talks.
Right.
We know that Newsome likes to chirp. We know
That's my guy.
Okay,
I
so
love Greg.
who on the front end chirps?
I don't really hear anybody for real. Jacques a little bit, but I feel like it's starting to be me. I'm starting to get more comfortable in the system and starting to get more comfortable around the guys and more comfortable running the plays. So, like, when I feel like I'm to a point of consistency, then that's where my mouth will be a little larger. But like I said in the earlier interviews, I'm just trying to be less heard and more seen.
What about Coach Woods? Does Coach Woods like to tell you to speak up, or does he say,
I don't
hey,
feel like
Rook?
he tells me to speak up. He just tells me to, like, be a better player than I was the next day. Just focus on the consistency aspect of the game, not so much the barking aspect, because we are all bite, no bark. So
That's right.
All right, let's move forward to Jacksonville, right?
Right.
Yes.
Friday. Tell us about that. What are your thoughts
Right.
as you head into that game, and how much are you hoping to play?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for sure. Excited to just get out there and go against another team and get to hit another team and don't have to take it easy because they don't have one in the same uniform as us. So we can go all out and do anything that we need to do to get to the passer. So I'm just excited to go out there with my guys and finally get one under the belt.
Will we see a different Perrion Winfrey when you can actually hit?
I would guess you might have to wait and see it.
Just ask the guy from Iowa State. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, before we let him go, can we get a scouting report on the other side? Earlier, Nathan and I were talking about Nick Harris.
Right.
We've seen him practice for years, but he's really only had the one game to play.
Right.
What are you seeing out of him?
Definitely a consistent player. He has the guys like Joel and Wyatt around him and Jack on the outside, so I feel like they're molding him into the player that he needs to be. He's tough, short, so he's able to be quicker, more center of gravity, so he's able to knock guys off the ball and knock guys out of the gap. So I feel like he's coming along and definitely becoming if he continues to work, he can be one of the best centers in his league.
All right, and are you enjoying going against Nick Chubb?
Yeah, most definitely.
He's a big, strong guy. You know, it's wild for you, though, right? You have Gerald McCoy who's watching your tape, and we had Joe Thomas was out here earlier going through things with Jed Wills, so somebody who's done it at a high level, and that's pretty cool. But you also go against Joel and against Wyatt, two guys who are, Pro Bowlers, all pros.
Right.
And And I'm sure there are times when Joel's like, oh, I thought you were going to do this, or, oh, maybe you should have done this. To get kind of that feedback, not only from a guy like Gerald McCoy, who's 6-time Pro Bowler, playing the position you play, but the guy who's supposed to stop the position you play. Has that been kind of wild, just the amount of information and seeing kind of from Joel's perspective, all the things he knows about what your job is?
Right. It's definitely exciting that I have those guys around me because they don't have to help me. They don't have to tell me the things that I'm doing wrong, but they're just such great veterans and great guys in the locker room so that they're able to tell me, like, you're doing this on this or you're doing that on that, because obviously it's going to get to the point where we're Browns on Browns, so they're just trying to make me the best player that I can be.
All right, Perrion, tell us something that
Browns
fans don't know about you yet. Tell us
I don't
something.
Know I'll add. There's something. Are you eating your steaks medium rare yet? Have you tried it out after the
last
time
no,
we talked?
I would never try that.
Come on, Perrion.
Only medium rare I'll eat is the Wagyu.
So
the Wagyu.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, tell us something that we don't know.
If you don't know, you will soon.
All right, bark. No, you can't leave until you bark.
All right,
Give us one good bark to send us all up.
That is it.
Perrion, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It was wonderful to meet you. And everybody, that is another episode of Browns Live. We'll be back in a couple days.